We turn now immediately to another developing news story. This is in the insurrection probe, the Democrat-led committee there, on a roll, first pressuring Trump's top White House advisor, Mark Meadows, who folded into cooperation after seeing the fate of a controversial witness who tried to defy this committee, former Trump White House aide Steve Bannon, now under criminal indictment after Congress held him in criminal contempt. Which brings us to breaking news right now. Tonight, the committee will vote on whether to recommend criminal contempt charges for a different Trump administration veteran, a former DOJ official named Jeffrey Clark. Now, this is what we're looking at right here, is just outside the closed doors where this is all going down. The vote is scheduled to take place within the next hour, and all indications are the committee is convening in order to hit him with contempt. The measure would then go to the full House chamber for a vote. Investigators want Clark's testimony on what he did to help Trump try to steal the election or stay in office or commit some sort of coup. Members of Congress now see him as a key actor within that government.
Jeffrey Clark was a key effort within the Department of Justice, using the brand of the Department of Justice to continue to stoke the fear and the misinformation campaign that the former president waged.
So here's what we know. This is breaking tonight because it would be only the second official after Bannon. And you know what happened to Bannon. That vote led to his indictment. Now, here's exactly how the process works. First, as scheduled within the next hour, this committee would hold the vote. If they vote on contempt, then Congress could vote. And if it's anything like the Bannon vote, we expect that the Democrats would be united there. And then the big choice falls to DOJ to decide whether or not to indict what will be a second Trump official. In that case, this Trump veteran could find himself prosecuted by his own former colleagues at the Justice Department. Quite a quick turnaround. Michael Steele's back with us, and we're tracking an imminent vote by the Congressional Committee on the Insurrection to potentially hold a second official in criminal contempt. Michael, what is your view of why some officials like Bannon continue to defy, and Clark now, and others like Meadows looking at even the risk of jail, trial, et cetera, and saying no thank you?
Well, I think some of it has to do with how much they've bought into Trump world and Trump lies for their own self-preservation, aggrandizement, or just, wanting to have Trump like them. There was reporting, at the end of last week about Mark Meadows and how a lot of his own members of the Republican caucus saw him, viewed him. One member referred to him as a liar, so he's always kind of been this sort of outlier, if you will, this sort of outside of the pocket, sort of trying to take advantage of the moment, the political moment, such as it is. But now this is not that. He doesn't have the protection of a White House. He doesn't have the protection. At least I don't believe the courts will find he has protection for executive privilege, et cetera. So he's got to figure out how to cut his deal. And I think whether it's, what he said in his book about Trump and COVID, and now, trying to figure out how to massage the January 6th committee, he's going to find himself, and I think we're seeing that, standing separate and apart from the Steve Bannons and others who are all in on Trump. Because for them, this is not just about the politics of it. It's about the grift, baby. It's about the grift. I can go back on my podcast and I can say all kinds of crazy bohemian nonsense and have people just stroke that check and give me their credit card number. And it's the grift. So Meadows isn't in that lane. And that's one of the big differences here.
Yeah, grifters are going to grift. And especially if they already went in deep on that politically, then that's both a political and a vocational concern.
It's
in
a
the
pool
seriousness,
that keeps providing.
Yeah. In the seriousness of having accountability to prevent what are measures by some to try to rig and steal future elections, it seems important to draw a line here with Clark. He may have some legitimate and valid arguments about what he knew at DOJ and what can and can't be disclosed, and we'll report on those, or respect those to fill in the blanks. But the notion that he can just defy any of this and get away with it is dangerous, because it would mean that there's kind of no consequence or even rewards for being the inside guy, the inside person on the job for the coup. What does it tell you about what decision will potentially be facing the DOJ? Bannon may have been in some ways easier because he completely defied, so he had no such argument, and he didn't work there. Here, they'd have to go after someone who was nominally one of them.
Yeah, but I don't think the DOJ is going to look at it that way, because I think when you stack it all up, the DOJ does not want to see itself, and certainly none of its members, in defiance of the rule of law. I mean, you're the Department of friggin' Justice. I mean, come on, seriously? Subpoenas don't apply to you? So, I don't think you're going to see this sort of falling over themselves to give deference to Clark's position, or to not prosecute him or push up against him if that's what the Congress wants. I think the bigger and more important thing is the fact that the January 6th committee is as serious as it is, and is making it very clear what its intent is. But here's the other part I think is very interesting: how they're strategically creating a pincer move that is pushing these people in directions that you otherwise would not expect, that based on what they know, the committee, that these folks don't know that they know, they have to give a little bit. They can't hold that firm ground. And that's especially true with the Department of Justice, because they don't know what's out there that could come back to bite them down the road. And they don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
All fair points. We've gotten your views on more than one issue. Plenty of serious stuff. I like to go out light when I can with Big Mike. Now that you've really adjusted to the indoor wear for all of your serious appearances, will we ever see you in a suit on TV again, or are you staying fleece, ride or die?
Well, baby, look, I was out today. I was doing a little work, a little yin-yang here and there, and so I come rushing in to be with you, bro.
I like it.
I thought about the tie. I figured I would do one of these things, but, that's a little choked up for a brother, so...
No, I don't. Don't zip it too hot. Don't zip it on account of MSNBC. We just know, and people can Google this. Everything's Googleable. You look at Michael Steele over at least a 15-year span. It's a suit and tie a day, every day, and now, it's fleeces all the way down, and we love it. We love you, Michael.
No, I appreciate that, but daggone well that if you were sitting where I'm sitting, you'd be in a fleece too. You just in the studio, baby.
Hey, you get the last word on that one. Michael Steele on many topics.